Hi guys, thanks so much for coming back to my channel. We are lucky enough to have family who lives in Greece, and during our multiple trips back and forth between America and Greece, we have picked up a few favorite flavors, foods, and memories that I'd like to share with you today. One of our favorite recipes that I have adapted once coming home is called, well, we call it Russian Bay pork Souvlaki. So it is adapted from some food that we had at Russian Bay off of Poros Island. It is a favorite of ours. It's kind of in a buttery mustard sauce, and it's delicious. So I hope you try it out. I do use a pork tenderloin that I trim down into 1 inch cubes, which I'll show you later. And I usually serve it with a little bit of orzo and some Greek salata that I make with some fresh vegetables. So yeah, I hope you enjoy. So to get started, I am going to go ahead and take my pork tenderloin. You can use pork chops or pork steaks even as well. And I'll show you here that I'm going to kind of cut it into, like I said, 1 inch cubes after I trim it down. I am wearing gloves just because I don't really like touching raw meat. Um, and I am a nurse, and I feel like I have found that anytime I'm wearing gloves, I'm pretty much willing to touch anything, oddly. I think my nurse friends can understand where I'm coming from with that. So here you'll see me amateurly trimming back some fat and some of the membrane off of this pork tenderloin. Not being too careful. I definitely am not a professional at this, but I am just going to trim the bulk of it off. And then, like I said, I'm going to trim it in 2 cubes because I'm going to put them on skewers. I'm going to marinate this pork once I get it all cut down with a little bit of olive oil that I did pick up from Greece and brought home. And I just have to say, there is a huge difference between the taste of that and the stuff that we buy in the stores here. So I'm going to add some salt and some garlic powder. I don't really measure anything. That's some fresh cracked pepper. And then this is some oregano that, again, I brought back with me from Greece. And it is fresh oregano that my aunt dried for us. And it is so good, so fragrant, lemony. It's just so delicious. So yeah, I'm going to toss all of that meat in the oregano, salt, pepper, garlic powder, and olive oil and just set it aside while I prepare my skewers in my basket. If you're using wooden skewers, you'd want to soak them in some water so they don't burn on the grill. I am using metal ones though. So I'm just going to put several pieces on a skewer, and I'm just going to toss them onto this stained sheet pan, don't mind that. And I'm really not being too particular with it. If you wanted to eat them off of the skewers, you certainly can, but I'm going to pull them all off later and toss them in some sauce. So I'm just putting as much as I can on there so that I can fit them all in my shish kebab basket or grill basket, and I'll show you how I use that. This is a Cuisinart grill basket that I bought off of Amazon, and I really like it. It does the job and it's adjustable. So I'm going to kind of configure all of my skewers so that they can fit all in the basket, as you will see. And I'm going to put the top on it. The top really secures it, and it makes it very easy for me to put this on the grill and turn it over all at once rather than turning those skewers one by one. I think you know what I mean as far as that goes. It can be pretty time consuming and frustrating. So here you can hear it sizzle on the grill, and you're going to cook it all the way through since this is pork. I suppose you could use chicken or beef as well. In the meantime, I'm going to make my salata. So I'm going to start with a cucumber, then I'm going to chop, and some tomatoes. Again, chop them up. Everything will be consistent in size, and then my green pepper and a few onions. You can use red onion, or I have a sweet white onion here. I prefer red, but I only have this white one on hand. And then while that's sitting aside, I'm going to get my sauce and my orzo started. So off camera, I did put my orzo in a pot. Then I'm going to take this little saute skillet and I'm going to add some butter, let it melt down in olive oil. And then I'm going to add a generous amount of garlic, minced garlic. I would say maybe 2 to 3 cloves worth or more if you like more. It is a very garlicky sauce that they have at the little food stand at Russian Bay. in Poros, so that's what I'm trying to mimic. I also added some salt, pepper, oregano, and a little bit of mustard. Not a lot of mustard, just enough to make you think, what is that taste? And then that's it. So then next I'm going to go ahead and add a fresh squeezed lemon. I do use an entire lemon that I squeeze directly into that after I've incorporated all of my other ingredients. And it is, I can't stress to you enough how yummy this is. So there it is, all whisked together, well incorporated. And I'm going to go ahead and now that my pork is all done, I'm going to remove it from the skewers and put it in a dish so that I can toss all of that meat in that delicious sauce that I just made. There you go. So next I'm going to go ahead and dress my salata with a little bit of olive oil, salt, and oregano. You could add some pepper if you'd like, but that's all I put in it. And then there's my pork all dressed and ready to go. I'm going to show you how I plate it. This is a little bit of orzo. You could use rice too if you'd like. And orzo is just like a Greek pasta that's rice shaped. It's really good. I do salt the water when I cook it. Some people will add lemon to it as well, but I didn't. And then I'm going to put the meat right on top with a little bit of the juices. Give the salata a nice little toss. And then I'm going to put it on the plate. You'll see it is a beautiful, delicious, fresh meal. You will not be disappointed if you make it. And if you ever get a chance to go to Poros, Greece, I 100% recommend going to Russian Bay and trying it out. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoy this and come back to watch my next video. Thanks.
Outside? Corbin. Why is it such a problem? Henry, do you think it's nice outside?